Hello. Excuse me. Sounds like we're gonna have some truth telling over here, y'all. Let me shuffle these up a little bit. We got healing, okay, and non-action, okay. So somebody could be quietly healing, healing in silence, but somebody could be bringing himself up in a certain way, awakening certain truths, and cutting ties, okay? So, interesting. These are too, I'm noticing they're like too big for me to shuffle, so make it a little easier for you. Okay, here we go. Crap. Okay, this card apparently. Somebody is wanting to put in the work at this time with a situation that they could have been in denial with or running from. And they could be utilizing primitive powers, okay, getting back into nature, and transforming and manifesting what they're truly desiring of, okay. They could have felt lonely, broken, or sad within certain waves of emotion. Somebody could have felt that the situation was unpredictable, and at this point they could be really kind of not presenting themselves directly, okay. They could be hiding, but we have online and social media. Somebody could be really, wanting to make a more intentional effort, okay. They could be recognizing that they have divine energy surrounding them, or you could be realizing that, okay. And they could be protected in whatever way they're desiring to go, okay. So let's see. Somebody could be wanting to share their joy and gratitude. Hold on a second. It's really funny that I got this right here because I just got really good news come in about something I was really concerned with. Okay, so woo. Yay. Okay, so something that could be really can't even talk right now. Okay, something that could have been really you could have been stressed out or worried about. You could be recognizing that there's positive coming out of the situation, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I wish I was on live so I could stop and take a break for a second, but a major relief. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. Yay. Okay, so somebody could have been they could be wanting to share the joy and the gratitude for a situation. Okay, somebody could be looking beyond surface stories or appearances, okay, and they're somebody could be ready to uncover hidden depths for transformation. They could have been previously behaving insincerely or rashly, and they could be wanting to apologize for certain arrogant behavior. Okay. Yeah, somebody could, it says irrational right here. So somebody could have been not facing the truth, in denial about certain situations. Okay. There could have been some type of division or debate or back and forth. Okay. But somebody could be really wanting to be more, direct. We got divine masculine right here, or masculine energy. Somebody could be wanting to, take action intentionally in the way they know they're meant to or want to. Okay. Somebody could be relieving themselves of old exes, old ways, and false situations. Okay. Yeah, somebody's wanting to take authority for themselves and move forward into a more united and balanced situation. Okay, we have gratitude, appreciation, joyful connections, nurturing love, family happiness. Okay, so somebody can feel it. They're moving forward towards a wish come true, and they're paying attention to the signs that are leading them towards this. They could be feeling really grounded, knowing their truth within them and their true deep feelings. They could be wanting to move forward in some type of way. There could be some type of intense transition or adjustment, but somebody could be realizing they've been suffering in silence with unspoken desires and real feelings. Okay. There could have been some type of lack of trust going on that had been really kind of keeping somebody from being able to open up. Whew. Okay, we got daydreaming, willpower, stay focused, family. So yeah, somebody could be, kind of feeling that something that could have been like a head in the clouds type of situation. As long as they keep, moving forward with their hopes and dreams in the situation, they could be, staying focused with, willingness into their reality, and they could be knowing that there's going to be some type of major upheaval, but it's also bringing a sense of like closeness together within the family dynamic. And we got healing. Okay, so somebody could have spent some time, going inward and taking care of themselves in the way that they needed to in order to get to a more calm or peaceful state of mind. Okay, and they're knowing, when they're needing to maintain their boundaries or set the tone or boundary and defend themselves, or, kind of like no longer allow for certain disrespectful behavior. I feel like I'm going all over the place, so hopefully this makes sense, I guess. But somebody could be kind of getting to a greater recognition of trust, and they might not be, just opening themselves up to whatever falsehoods people are throwing around. They could be using their discernment, and they could be getting ready to share their truth with caution. Okay, but they're recognizing the power of disclosure in the situation. Okay, and they could be wanting to be more intentional with, certain desired connections that they can, envision. Okay, let's see. Yeah, somebody could be feeling they can't stop thinking about you. They have insatiable thoughts of you, and they're needing more. It's funny because we have this right here, and then this next card where this person's like full of, they're getting poured into. It's getting overwhelming or something. And they could be feeling like they're wanting to have a, greater outlook towards success, instead of feeling that they are unable to achieve what they're desiring of. We have, an earth sign right here. Somebody could be feeling that they are, as they ground themselves in a more positive position. They could be recognizing that once they open themselves up to this, serendipity or this chance, they have good things coming, and they need to kind of get to a greater sense of peace with their past in order to shift and change into a more intimate and united relationship dynamic with closeness and mutual respect. Okay, so somebody could be recognizing that as they create certain awarenesses, they could be like quantum jumping into a new dynamic. Okay. They could be really recognizing that they're able to move on from a situation they've been being blocked with, or staying silent about. But at this point, they could be really kind of planning more intentionally. They have a lot of passion. They're wanting to free up their energy and awaken their inner fire, I guess, and come together with a soul contract and some type of reconciliation. Okay. Alright, so we have a masculine that could be meditating, expanding their consciousness, opening up to their senses, and awakening the dormant wisdom within. Okay, they could have been, kind of recognizing that they had been, it says, eyes for you, fantasy, fascinated, fascinated and focused on you, watching, but they could have been caught up in toxic dynamics with friends or drugs or partying, certain lifestyle. And at this point, they are, recognizing we have a foolish mistake right here. Okay, they're learning from certain situations where, there's thrills within certain bad decisions or addictions, but they're recognizing the cycle, the continuous cycles that they've been, maintaining, I guess. And at this point, they could be recognizing they have protection. We have Archangel Michael right here, who's been helping to kind of help create a discernment and truth to balance the scales and get them to a position where they're, really wanting to get out there more intentionally with what their truth is. Okay, hold on. Okay. I gotta share the news. Gotta go. Oopsie. I don't know if I should talk about it, but I'm like being reminded of, what I just had been concerned with and stuff, but I don't know if it's really something I want to bring up right now. But we were concerned of, someone's health in the family, and there was, situations going on. Okay, so you could be, coming to a situation that, had been difficult, but having a positive outcome. Okay, so we have empathy, deep feelings, sensitive, and compassion. Okay, somebody's wanting to move forward in a way where they can be loving and protective. Okay, there could have been something that was like, felt like it was out of their hands, but they're wanting to show their support. Okay, and it says the sun shines after every storm, and the storm comes to clear the path. So somebody could be kind of recognizing there had been some type of needed release. They're cutting ties with false personas or pretending and surrounding themselves within fake truths. Okay, they could be recognizing that there was conniving and unpredictable behavior that they could have been dealing with, and they're wanting to get to a greater sense of harmony, peace, balance, and happiness. They could have felt that they were getting off track, and at this point they are receiving the direction they need. It says getting direction from angels. Okay, somebody could have been getting mixed signals previously, making, you know, acting as if they were playing some type of game. And they're putting themselves in a position where there's more unpredictable behavior based on that, okay, more uncertainty. At this point, they could be wanting to open themselves up to true opportunities and adventures that they can have an awareness within the proof of the difference, I guess, the confirmation that they needed. So yeah, somebody is recognizing that there's some type of confirmation that they'll be receiving, or evidence coming to light within karmic situations or third-party situations where they had, they'd learned their lessons, but apparently there's going to be some type of proof of, the recognitions that they had anticipated while needing to shift, okay? They could be recognizing that they could be facing certain, new challenges, but they feel that they have the ability to overcome what has been broken, okay? And they could be wanting to, there could be some type of distance between where it is that they're wanting to be, but they're, really wanting to embrace their true desires, their sensual allure, apparently is what it says, and they could be wanting to really explore more intentionally what where their feelings are leading them. Okay, I'm gonna just pull one more pull through the whole deck, and and then whoops, I'll do some tarot real quick, and then I'll go. Okay. Oh shit. Oh, cute. Whoa. Hello. I'll get those in a second. Okay. So I can feel a couple of these wanting to pop out, but I'm not letting them. So somebody could be feeling like they're, wanting to shift and do something real quick, but they're holding themselves back. Just one more little rotation. Okay. One more. Right here. Is it? Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So we got right there. Let's see. So yeah, somebody could have been concealing their feelings based on being cautious or guarded and paranoid, okay? They could have been kind of masking themselves, okay? But, yeah, they could have been, running from their, from, their truth, okay? And, at this point, I guess they could be certain, they could be feeling, that they're moving forward towards, an unconditional dynamic, a real, loving situation. It says, to me, you are perfect. And they could be, certain. Right here, we have the divine or feminine. They could be really kind of, they could have been scared, like, initially, where they're like, no, I don't know, hiding, right? But they could be coming to a recognition of their true feelings, right? And they could have been cautious or wary based on lust or envy, that they knew they'd be, facing different situations. And the lust card came out in reverse, so they could have been concerned that there was just some type of surface level desires there, okay? But at this point, that's funny. Look at these pictures. We got This guy's really checking out the goods. That's funny. Somebody could be feeling that they are at this point, truly focused. It says, can't stop thinking of you, must have, delicious. Okay. And there could be some type of catalyst. There's definitely a focus that they have on you or in the situation, but there's some type of catalyst that will be propelling the situation forward. Okay. Somebody's wanting to establish themselves and get more settled and secure within, what they feel is a prosperous situation. They could be really wanting to immerse themselves more intentionally. What's funny is, like, I've, like, seen this card forever, but I never paid attention, really, that this girl's wearing these fake fins for this mermaid thing. Like, I really never paid attention. It's so weird. But, it's weird, right? And it's, like, super obvious. But I never really, like, put it together that, like, she's, like, wearing these fake fins. Like, I've seen it, but I'm like, what? So, anyway, somebody could be feeling, that it took them a long time to actually, kind of put put the picture together. But at this point, they have a lot of different truths and aspects of this reality, I guess, that it could be, once they initiate, it's going to be like this, like, extreme flow that's occurring, right? Like what's it called? It says bottleneck right here, so it's like there could have been like this dam that was, closing them off from their true emotions or desired expression, and then once they open it up, it's like going to be this, like, flood. There we go. Flood of emotion. So yeah, somebody could be feeling that they're getting to a greater sense of insight. Okay, they could be moving forward towards completion with lessons learned. All right, and that's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Just gonna look at her. Okay, we got an agreement. Okay, so somebody could be moving forward with respect, compassion. They could be receiving sacred messages that has helped them to lead through the confusion and assert themselves. Okay, they could be feeling that they're really going to be persevering and overcoming this opportunity. There could be, somebody's trusting the process and recognizing that this is beyond their control. Okay, they could be wanting to take a softer approach and really nurture. They could be recognizing that there's perfect timing going on with serendipity, all right? And there's some type of reunion that will be occurring that somebody could be, really longing for, okay? They want to talk, they're missing you. They could be wanting to, give you some flowers. They could be, really feeling trapped by a lack of forgiveness, whether they not giving that to themselves or think that you wouldn't be forgiving. But at this point, it's like bringing them to a position of like feeling exhausted. Okay, they could be recognizing, they could be feeling like they're living some type of double life at this point, and they're wanting to recharge and open themselves up to the true possibilities that, we get a second chance and wishful thinking. Somebody could be wanting to take a gamble and, feeling fragmented, but also inspired, okay? So they could be wanting to be, maintain optimism and hope. They could have been recognizing they were running from true happiness and they're wanting to return. How cute is that? With a greater awareness of maturity, okay? They're seeing the sun, they're seeing things in a positive way, and really being able to feel that they're moving forward with, progress. They'd been in a position where they weren't thinking of of your feelings, but now they've they've gotten their own strength and awareness of their own ability. At this point, they're wanting to you know, show themselves to you. Okay, they could have dealt with a drama queen or instigator that was causing chaos and spreading lies, but at this point they're wanting to move forward towards strengthening certain relationship dynamics, and they're wanting to be bold, fearless, and say what's on their mind. Okay, so wow. Look at that. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, somebody's wanting to be protective, okay, and really kind of stand up for their truth this time. Alright, I remember I gotta go, but it's all good things, so I don't really have to rush, but anyways, I don't know. We got 2 of Wands, okay, yay! Somebody's planning to move forward with their desired positive expression. They could be feeling they're planning towards a wish come true. And they could be feeling truly passionate and inspired towards this new beginning. You know, wielding a greater sense of purpose. The Emperor, my goodness. Really set on what they want, ready to assert themselves, okay? Oh, well. Here he is. Yeah, I come to save the day. I always love that one. What's it called? We got the sun. The sun and the moon. Mighty Mouse. That's what that was. Okay, we got the sun and the Ace of Swords, the truth coming in with the Page of Cups. Somebody could be really, you know, getting to a confident position, asserting themselves, facing certain fears, recognizing, look at that. We get the Sun and the Magician. Okay, so they're recognizing that they're creating their own reality at this time and could be ready to... The Sun and the Moon, how cute, right next to each other. I know I've put them there, but looked at it again. So there could be this, you know, recognition of a true balance that's being formed, okay? And with the Magician and the Emperor, you know, it's like somebody is really taking it upon themselves to form and create more intentionally instead of being like a passive observer. They are, you know, taking the action to you know, really create their environment, the empire that they're, you know, envisioning, and, you know, take it upon themselves to initiate. Okay, we have the ooh, we got 8-8 right here. We got the 8 of Wands, so somebody could be moving forward with some type of action or communication, but they know where their focus is, okay? They could have gone inward and recognized what it is that they had been restricting themselves from when it comes to relationship dynamics or their own, you know, loving expression. Okay, they could be seeing, they could be seeing what had been lacking based on, you know, manipulation or deception. And at this point, they're really wanting to create a balance more intentionally for themselves. Okay, could have really gone into isolation mode, or, you know, just taken more time for themselves to get to a greater recognition of what is important. And they could be seeing that, you know, in order to achieve their true desires, there's a need for them to create the balance within themselves first. Excuse me. All right. We got 3 of Swords. Okay, but we have the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. And instead of, like, this was over here, okay? So instead of this guy being focused on all the pain and the hardship previously, they could be recognizing, you know, a truth that they are being shown. And, you know, really kind of recognizing it's upon them to take action in order to... you know, bring what they feel is purposeful into reality. That's so funny. That's the picture I was seeing in my head. That's funny. I was gonna say something. Wielding you know, their truth and their desire. Um, yeah, so somebody could be recognizing in order to really bring about what they are feeling passionate or purposeful within. It's up for them to do in order to really have things go in the way that they're desiring of. Okay, but we have the Two of Wands and the World card right here. Somebody could be really feeling that they are, you know, getting to that threshold where they can plan more intentionally. They have the ability. We get the World, and you know, the Two of Cups is holding the world in their hands, right? You know, so it's like somebody could be really embracing their true ability to create and manifest, and you know, wielding this power more intentionally for themselves as they move forward towards, you know, what they're desiring. Okay, let's see. So we got the Three of Pentacles, the Tower, the Five of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. So somebody could be feeling that they're, you know, leading towards a more stable relationship or team dynamic. They could be, you know, really kind of recognizing the instability between previous conflicts that they had been a part of while trying to build, you know, and manifest or grow to the position that they are bringing into their life physically. Okay, and they could be really seeing things from a different perspective when it comes to certain relationships or team dynamics. Okay, but we have the the Nine of Pentacles, or not Pentacles, Wands, the Six of Cups, and the Four of Wands. So look at that. So yeah, somebody could be kind of recognizing that they've been holding their ground, maintaining themselves, and battling through different difficulty. But at this point, they could be really seeing that what it is that they are seeing is a true soulmate connection that they can feel stable and secure within, with the true structure that they're wanting to have in their life. They could be feeling that they've, you know, really been able to heal through different challenges and difficulty, you know, heal their inner child and get to a more joyful expression while really envisioning, you know, a more secure back and forth energetically with others around them. Okay. We get the Eight of Pentacles. So somebody could be feeling like they're really skilled and, you know, have mastered themselves when it comes to what they're trying to form and create, what they've envisioned for like their, you know, main, let me see, like what the image of their life would look like, you know, like they can more prominently envision this. Okay. And they could be feeling that they're ready to move forward into the next chapter, surrendering in to this truth in a more confident way. They could be feeling that, you know, regardless of, you know, how it is that they go about whatever the situation is that they're facing at this time, they could feel confident with the fact that they've, you know, built and formed the majority of what they're desiring of in the way that they're wanting to, that, you know, even if this doesn't go exactly to plan, they know that there isn't going to be that much of a difficulty for them to bounce back, I guess. Okay. So yeah, somebody could be feeling that they're, you know, moving in a transformed way and really kind of coming into alignment. However, however the cards might play out, I guess, you know. Like even just being true with their own inner truth. And oh, look at at the Hierophant right there. So yeah, just aligning with their higher self is getting them where they know they're meant to be, you know. So when somebody is, you know, knowing what is out of alignment and what is not true for them, energetically within their own body, you know, it doesn't really matter where it is that they lead themselves, because they're going to be able to navigate in a higher aligned way, when it comes to whatever the situation may be. Okay. So, oh, how cute. Oh, wow. These are all like one of my these are all like favorite cards right here. Oh, we got the Hierophant and the High Priestess. Okay. So this could be like a truly spiritually aligned relationship dynamic that somebody knows that they're moving into, and they could be feeling a lot more carefree when it comes to taking a leap of faith towards, we got the Two of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So a devoted relationship dynamic they could feel is, being divinely led, all right? And, they can be moving forward towards true emotional fulfillment within their home and their family. They're just needing to close out cycles of pain and negativity, recognize the worth of their true emotions, and move forward on their destined path into a more nurturing and celebratory outlook and relationship. Okay, they could be staying true to themselves as they move forward into calmer waters, and be willing to really kind of receive what they are truly desiring of in a more healed way. Okay, so somebody could be knowing what's meant for them, and really wanting to move forward passionately, recognizing the truth of what it is that they do and don't want, and anticipating what could be coming in as they initiate in this direction, knowing what they're wanting to dedicate themselves to. Okay, they could be recognizing that there's certain attacks they could be going through to create stress or negativity. But as long as they, keep a certain balance and confidence within themselves, they could be, really kind of knowing what steps they're needing to take in order to go where they're, being led, I guess, right? And what's interesting is these are kind of like almost like mirrored right here, these images, so it's, we see she's doing different things, yada yada, but like the body alignment in both of them is kind of like the opposite, so there could be this kind of recognition of a mirrored quality, and somebody could be having the strength and the courage to know that the action that they're taking is being there's a complemented, okay, and there's a compatible dynamic that's going on, regardless of whether they're seeing this at this point or not. Okay, but yeah, somebody could be feeling that there is a mirrored aspect of the actions that they're taking. I've been recognizing a lot of different stuff within mirrors lately too, so that could be relevant. But it's like, oh, we got distant future. So there's the one side and the other side, and then there's the middle part, right, of mirrors, or just anything in general. But it's like there's an equal and opposite side of things, and then there's the connection in the center that bring those two together. And it's even if you're looking at something, like if you're putting this in front of the mirror and you're saying like this looks exactly like that, but it's opposite, right? Like let's pretend this is a mirrored image. Anyway, this center piece right here, right in the center, holding them together type of thing, is the part that like is showing both of them that there is a similarity instead of just the opposite aspects, so I hope that makes sense in some type of way. But like that's what I've been noticing with just like a lot of different things in general. It sounds probably weird or something, but it's like almost like the third dimension, or where the plane we're on at this point, is like a part that's holding two different pieces together of the universe or something, and anyway, that's a whole other story. I'm not gonna get into it right now. But there, somebody could be recognizing the connectivity and the actual, physical, like, let me see, manifestation of what could be created within, those equal and opposite scenarios. Okay, so anyway, let's get on with it. Let's see what we have here. What do we need to know? But yeah, somebody could be thinking of their distant future, but also having their path be aligned, you know, it's going, you know, pretty straight and directly, okay? Somebody could have been partaking in certain rituals and awakening to how those practices could have been keeping them in bondage with animosity and ill intention. Okay, they could be getting to greater awareness of truth, and they could be concerned with the conflicts that they could have been creating. At this point, they're wanting to move forward in a way where they can be honorable. Okay, and they could be, you know, wanting to be, you know, expressing themselves in a way that's truly loving, and they could be wanting to, you know, embrace the different signs that they're recognizing or opening themselves up to, and have a greater sense of intention, I guess, with, you know, what those awarenesses or truths are. Okay, so yeah, somebody could be recognizing the gift that they are receiving that's leading them towards where they're truly wanting to be. Okay, and as they could also be recognizing certain manipulation that they had been, you know, kind of tied to. Let me see, is that a card? Yeah, they could have been, you know, with this like ritualistic behavior in certain ways, they could have been keeping themselves bound and controlled, okay? But at this point, they could be, you know, as they pay attention to the true messages they're receiving, they could be feeling that they're moving in a way that is, you know, really freeing them and leading them towards where they're meant to be. Okay, we have family right here and soulmate. So, yeah, somebody could be feeling that they're opening themselves up to a truly connected dynamic. Okay, they could have recognized that there was a lot of false truths that they had created within themselves when it comes to a you know, divine connection or partner or something. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they could have felt that they were either emotionally unstable or mentally unstable in different ways, that they could have, you know, a certain connectivity could have been that way, right? They could have felt that there was jealousy or envy over the position that they were in, financially or like in life, okay? But at this point, they're recognizing, you know, the true divinity in a situation, and they're abandoning lustful outlooks and mentalities, okay? They could have been recognizing what had been truly taking away from them, and creating destruction, okay, in their life. They could be, you know, moving forward away from a karmic feminine dynamic, okay, and more towards a more divinely aligned dynamic. Okay, so yeah, somebody could have had their head kind of in the wrong spot based on previous situations. They could have felt that, you know, there was another person who was trying to, you know, take from them in certain ways. We have health concerns and rich guy. Like, it's like they could have felt that somebody was just trying to, you know, take from their abundance. And they could be kind of recognizing how there are a lot of people who were just having their own agenda when it came to how you know, nice that this person could be, you know. So instead of it being like, oh, this is cool, whatever, you know, I'm hanging out over here, we're doing this thing, like, it was like, gimme, what can I get out of you, type of thing or something. And they could be, you know, recognizing how people were taking their kindness for granted, I guess, or something. But at this point, they could be realizing that this is, you know, a starseed connection, out of this world, you know, not the same. Look at, we got death magic that made itself go in reverse, so that's cool. There's no ill will or intentions here. Okay, somebody could be healing from a situation where they had been dealing with people who had closed off their emotions. And at this point, they're focusing more on, you know, what they're enamored by, and, you know, feeling is a true balanced relationship dynamic. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Okay. We got obsession. Evil eye. Okay. So somebody could be recognizing that, you know, there are other people's negative intentions on them, but they've done a lot of work to be more confident with the efforts that they've done within the spiritual. They could be feeling like, you know, they are getting good news and ready to, you know, and support, ready to bring something in that is truly uplifting and, you know, shining a light on things. It could be bringing a whole new type of light to the subject. Okay, I'm just really looking at the sun on both these cards right here. So somebody could be like really seeing things in a more positive way. And they are feeling confident regardless of other people's false narratives, to move forward in a purposeful way, content with their divine alignment. Okay. All right, we got divine masculine. Here we go. Okay. And earth angel. So yeah, somebody could be really seeing that there is a true loving connection, you know, that they're being guided, and, you know, they're unbothered at this point by a third party situation or dynamic, and they could be really wanting to move forward towards, you know, balancing their karma and transitioning towards the destiny within a certain commitment that they have. Excuse me. They could be having something, excuse me, that they're kind of keeping to themselves, but they could be feeling that although they have a lot of love in the situation or desire to express themselves strongly, they could be really needing to transition away from abusive behaviors that they could have gone through, and really kind of allow for a true healing or release to occur. Okay. And we have there's a large community that somebody could be surrounded by, but they're wanting to focus their you know, true expression on, you know, or themselves, or like take initiative when it comes to expressing themselves in a more loving way with what, you know, with the thoughts of love that they're focused on. Okay, I couldn't talk either, so there's that. But yeah, somebody could be wanting to express themselves, truly feeling passionate and purposeful. We got the North Node right there in courthouse, so somebody could be really wanting to be direct with their expression and be open and honest with their truth. It could be surprising to other people who had been maybe seeing this person as a karmic previously, but they're recognizing that they're, you know, moving forward towards bliss. How cute. Bliss and abundance. They're ascending and kind of going home into a more secure position while ending out certain situations that were, you know, keeping them in that karmic position. So the person, whoever this is, could have been maintaining their faith through opposition, giving themselves self-love, okay, recognizing what feelings they were needing to be opening up within themselves, and they could be elevating from where they'd been imprisoned or restricted previously. They could be moving in a way where they're, you know, really trusting their inner child and desires, and moving forward towards manifesting their own divinely led truth within a mature relationship aligned chakras, a greater sense of alignment, and they could be, you know, really kind of presenting themselves intentionally as they lead themselves on their desired path. We have relationship right here and message. So somebody could be really wanting to get their feelings out there, and you know, they could be feeling there is, you know, complementary dynamics going on. It's just a matter of them initiating more intentionally. Okay. Y'all, sir. Yeah, so somebody could have been dealing with a lot of, we got a sweetheart right here. Somebody could have been dealing with a lot of difficulty from all different positions. They could have been going through, generational curses, emotional pain, entity attachments. There could have been a lot of different things that were trying to keep them in a lower position, but at this point, they are, instead of feeling like they are leading themselves in a way that is, you know, kind of emulating all of the difficulty, they could be feeling that they're leading themselves towards, you know, their true path in a more awakened way at this time. Okay, so somebody could have gone through a lot of difficulty, but you know, guided themselves through it in a way where they can be feeling truly confident with, you know, how things are, you know, could have been, but not necessarily meant to be, you know, forever type of thing. So, okay. Wow. Let me just see what these cards right here. So somebody could be having a passion towards where their energy is desiring for them to lead. Okay, so ooh, my goodness. Anyway, hopefully it's helped. Talk to you later. Bye. Every time I'm like, I was like that far away, and then this slow connection. That could be something. Somebody could be feeling like there's something getting in the way of, you know, what they're wanting to lead towards or whatever. My hair is crazy. I gotta go do something with this. Yeah, they could have been feeling that there's something that was just kind of getting right in between what they wanted to do, but just be persistent. Okay, all right, bye.